Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how I clip in my hair extensions and how I sort of blend them in and style them. In most of my videos, especially recently, I've been wearing hair extensions. Some of you guys may not have even known I was wearing hair extensions, but this is the actual length of my hair, so it is pretty short. So I wanted to do a tutorial showing you how I clip hair extensions into my short hair and make it look more natural. And this is a collaboration with one of my good friends here on YouTube, Melissa Melfs. Most of you guys are probably already subscribed to her, but if you're not, definitely head over to her channel and check her out. She's going to be doing a hair tutorial with extensions as well, showing you how she blends them. And she is so sweet, so amazing. She uploads really regularly, sometimes 5 videos a week. And you guys are just gonna love her videos and her accent. She is so southern and cute. So be sure to check out her video as well, and I'm going to include that in an annotation. And this is also a giveaway, and I'm going to be including the rules down below. There are going to be 2 winners that are each going to win a set of their own Irresistible Me extensions, which is really exciting. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right into my extension tutorial, and I'm going to be using Hello Gorgeous extensions today. These are my fave, and I have my set right here, and you guys can see that these are just regular clip-ins. These are 220 grams, so this is a lot of hair. This is big, thick amount of hair. And these are in dark brown, which does match the length and ends of my hair. I have not gotten my hair colored in 12 weeks. It's sick. So my roots have grown in a lot, but I'm trying to get my hair back to its original state of health before I like bleached and dyed and fried it. So I have not colored in a while, so my natural lighter hair color is coming in. But yeah, these do match my length and ends pretty awesomely. Like, you can't even tell that I'm wearing extensions when I have these in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how I clip them in and blend them for my short hair. So I'm starting out with just my natural dry hair. I haven't curled, I haven't straightened, I haven't really done anything to it. I try to use the least amount of heat on my hair possible because, like I said, I'm trying to get back to a nice, natural, healthy state with my hair. So this is going to be like an almost no heat tutorial. So clipping these in is actually really easy, and basically I just kind of mark it off by my ears. So where I'm going to start is right here at the bottom of my ears. And it doesn't have to be precise, it's not an exact science or anything, but I just start right here with my fingers at the bottom of my ears, and I run them straight back in a straight line, and I pick all that hair up. So you can see that I've just parted it so that I only have a little bit of my baby hairs right here on the bottom, just this little tiny first layer. And now I'm going to clip up the remainder of my hair so that I can clip in my first weft. And I'm going to start with a medium-sized 3-clip weft, just because obviously your head's not going to be as wide here at the bottom, so you don't want to go with one that's too long, but you also don't want to go with one that's too short. And how I clip them in is I just clip the center clip right into the middle of the part line. So it's easier if you start there, and then you just go ahead and push it in, and then you clip on the other side, and then you clip in the far left clip. And I personally just think that it's easier to start with the middle one. And then you can pull that forward and then let the rest of your hair down. So the first weft I put in right here at the bottom of my ear, and then for the second weft I start just about halfway up my ear on both sides. Take your fingers and run them back in a straight line, and then lift all that hair up, and then clip all that hair up, and then you should just have a fine little layer of hair above your last weft. Let me see if I can show you guys. So see, I have my first weft under here, and then I just have a fine little layer of hair. So then I'm gonna go ahead and take my next weft. This one is just a little bit wider because obviously as you go up your scalp, your head's gonna get a little bit wider and bigger. But again, this is a 3-clip weft. And I'm just gonna kind of turn around and show you guys how I clip it in, starting in the center clip and then doing the outside clips. Okay, so just take your weft, and right here where the hair is parted, just take your center clip and put it as close to the center as you can, and just run it down the hair just a little bit, dig it in, and push it and clip it. And just take the 2 ends and pull them as tight as you possibly can, and then just clip those in. And so it should look like this. And you guys might have noticed with this last weft when I turned around and showed you guys that I clipped it in a little bit below the part line. And the reason that I do that is because I have very fine hair. It's not super thick. And sometimes if I clip it too close to the part, the hair that you lay on top tends to sort of bubble up. and then you can see the clip in and your hair just looks cray cray. So that is why I kind of set the clip in, I dig it in, and then I slide it down the hair shaft a little bit and then clip it in. It tends to grip a little better, and then also the next natural hair layer is just going to lay seamlessly across the top. You're not going to get a bump. It's going to lay nice and flat. So that is why I do that, and I'll show you that a little better when I do 2 of my top wefts here. So now we're ready to clip our third weft in, so just let the rest of your hair down, and this time we're going to start at the very top of our ear. So take your fingers right at the tops of your ears and run them straight back so that you create a nice part back there. And then clip the remaining hair up. And as you can see, this is just a very repetitive process. It's pretty easy. Woo, I'm looking like a rooster. Okay, so then we take our next weft, and again, it's a 3 clip. And we're just gonna go ahead and clip it in exactly like we did the other ones. So just feel back there for where the part is. Clip in your center clip, and then both of your side clips. So now we have got our third weft in. Hair is getting long and thick, as you can see. And for this final 3-piece weft, I'm going to sort of use my temples as a marker. So right here, and you're just gonna wanna run straight back and kind of collect that top hair, almost like how you would do to do like a half up, half down. So sort of like this is what it looks like. Just come back here and clip it in. Okay, so now I have all of my larger 3-piece wefts clipped in, and now I just have 2 of these smaller 2 clips, and these I actually put on the sides. So now I'm just gonna clip one of these in, and I kind of clip them on the side, so I just kind of take my finger and I run it back and just kind of get like a part right here. Just kind of like so my first layer will just cover it up. So just take both of the clips, dig them in right there at the part, and then run them down the hair shaft just a little bit before you clip them in. And like I said, I do that so that your natural hair will lay flat on top and there won't be any crazy bump. Okay, now you can see it's a little bit thicker on this side. So now I'm just gonna take my finger, again, start at my temple, and I'm just going to run it up and pull that hair to the side. So kind of just getting rid of my top layer. And then I'm gonna take my other 2-piece weft, and I'm just going to stick it in right there at the part, run my hands down, and then push, clip them both in. And I know it looks kind of crazy, but trust me, they'll both stay, they're fine there. And then I just cover it up with my top layer of hair. So let me zoom out a little bit so that you guys can sort of see the finished product. You can see that they're pretty long. And they look pretty darn natural. And I'll show you the back really quick. That's what it looks like. So now we have long, voluptuous hair. It's so nice. Looks really natural, and my natural hair is all blended in. So you can't even tell that I have a short bob. I look like I just have long hair with some layers. And then how I style them is relatively easy. You can see that they're already a little bit wavy because I have curled them in the past. So a lot of the curl has come out, but they still do have a little bit of wave to them. And typically if I was going to do a video, I wouldn't even bother curling the rest of my hair. I would probably just fluff it up a little bit and leave it sort of straight on top because the extensions are already a little bit wavy on the bottom, and it just looks like a natural layer. You really don't have to curl your natural hair if you don't want to. And that's one of the actual benefits of having shorter hair and clipping in extensions. If you have longer hair, obviously it's going to sort of meet up with the extensions and you're going to need it to look all similar. So you would have to curl your natural hair if it was longer. But with shorter hair, it actually kind of just looks like shorter layers. But I did curl my extensions when I first got them, and occasionally I will sort of to help blend curl my natural hair in with them before I do a video. So I just wanted to show you guys. A really good affordable heat protectant is the TRESemmé Thermal Creations, and I'm sure most of you guys have seen this before. So just spray that all over before you curl. It's a really important step. So basically, if I do curl my hair with my extensions, I will curl my hair with them in. I know that some people will curl their natural hair and then clip their extensions in. I prefer to curl it with them already in, and I don't curl my entire head. I'm not gonna curl all my natural hair. Because frankly, I just don't want the heat damage. So what I would do is just take, like, for example, a front section, and I would just hold it with my natural hair and the extension together, and then just wind them together. And I think that curling them together just sort of helps them to mesh and blend. Also, if you're planning on straightening them, definitely clip them in and straighten your natural hair and the extension together, and that will just help them blend seamlessly and you won't get any crazy crimps or lines. So as you can see, my natural hair just curled right in with the extension. And yep, I pretty much just curl all the way around my hair, blending my natural hair with the extension, like you can see right there. Then it kind of just looks like they are just one piece of hair rather than separate. Just wrap it around. And I know that a lot of people go really crazy curling their entire head, and I know that a lot of people also tease. And I just don't think it's necessary to do that. I mean, if you really wanted to have like a big bouffant and go out, you could do that. But even with my really fine, thin hair, I don't have to tease to cover up the clips. I literally don't. And you know, teasing isn't any better for your hair than heat damage, so I try to avoid all of it. I try to do as little as possible that I have to for it to look natural. And I think that a lot of people are worried about people seeing their clips if they don't tease and if they don't curl. And it's just really not the case. You can curl it a little bit and that goes a really long way. You don't have to tease your hair to cover up your extension clips. And then sometimes I'll just take separate sections and I'll just twist them like this. And that can kind of help to blend the hair together as well, just the natural shorter hair with the longer hair. So let me just turn around and show you guys the back. So this is what the back looks like. And then another way to sort of make it look more natural so that you don't have to tease the top of your hair would just be to pull the top half up and sort of clip it just so you have like a little poof. And you can see this look in a lot of my videos. I pull the top half back a lot when I wear extensions because I think it just makes it look more natural, especially when your roots are starting to grow out like mine. Alright guys, so that is how I clip in and blend my extensions with short hair. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Now be sure to check out the info box down below for important links and also for the rules to the giveaway, and be sure to comment down below and enter to win a set of your own Irresistible Me extensions. And then head on over to Melissa's channel to see her, what I'm sure is going to be an awesome tutorial on how she blends extensions and also more details about the giveaway. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and until next time, bye!